Welcome to the world of Rouge. We figured things out, so stay with us. I am Oliwia Rouge, and Shredy is here with me. Shredy, what are we gonna talk about today?
Yeah, I wanted just to talk about what we experienced in the past week because we filmed the episode last week, and after we finished filming the episode, we realized that they took our channel down. And, I didn't inform the audience. We didn't inform the audience. After that, we made a quick video about it. But people didn't know what was happening. And after 1 week, we got the channel back. And we uploaded the third episode that we filmed before they took it down. So we didn't talk about this whole thing, what happened in this week. Just short videos that we made on Instagram and on social media. So I think this theme is important because we can learn a lot from it. What happened? Why they took the channel down? What we experienced? What you experienced in this time? Because if you remember, a couple of days before they took it down, I just noticed that there are two shorts that are shadow banned. A couple of days before that, before they took it down, they were shadow banned. So I don't see them in the feed. I go back to shorts. I don't see them offered. Even if I go on your channel, those two videos are shadow banned. So I had to go in the channel inside in shorts in order to see them there. It doesn't make sense. Why? So I expected that something bad is happening in the background. Something really is happening. And when you came to film the third episode of the podcast, and so I told you I have bad news and good news. The bad news is that there are two videos that I cannot figure out why they are shadow banned. The good news is that it is just an indication that there's some movement happening in the background. There's some kind of, I will talk about it also now, what it was. And after we filmed the third episode, what I told you before, that we have bad news. After we filmed the third episode, we were sitting and drinking coffee and tea. And then I was scrolling on my phone. I said, they took our channel down. They took Oliwia Rouge down from YouTube. Why would they took it down? There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. It's just a podcast. We're talking to people and we're just having fun. And then I started connecting the dots. What was happening? But in that moment, I saw you, whoosh, like your whole world crashed. Because, we worked hard on it. We've been posting those things on Instagram. We've been posting things. And there's a lot of people that are engaged. That they're happy with this. And, so I saw you, like, whoosh, down. It was so sad. So I thought, okay, we now have a mission. We need to fight back because this should not happen. YouTube doesn't just take channels down. There are people that worked in the background that this podcast or this YouTube channel triggered them. Their ego was hurt or whatever. So they hired professional services in order to simulate a human behavior that reports this channel as if it's a scam or spam or whatever. So we have to fight back. So I told you, like, you can go home and we talk online and we fix it. We contact YouTube in a certain way and we work on it. And yeah, I understand that it's painful because you were sad that happened. For me, it was an opportunity to leverage this event because there are many people that are watching us. And many people experience this kind of adversity, this kind of antagonism. And we would like to show inspiration on how we deal with such things and how we can leverage it and use it for our benefit. So, So I want you to talk about this experience today. What happened? How you felt about it? What we learned from it?
Oh yes, that was for sure a week of learning how to deal with the situation, because as you said, I got in shock when we were sitting and you told me this, because we really put a lot of effort and we just uploaded the second episode, and we were so happy about seeing the growth and the engagement and also the dialogue with the community, which made me so happy. And we just started the journey and they shut it down. So there was a lot of insecurity and the shock. I went into the mode of, okay, now we need to get it done to get it back. So that's why you said like all emotions like went out, because I went directly into this logical mode, how to step into action, because we cannot leave it like this. And afterwards, of course, I went into the state of thinking, who was it? Who would have reason to do it? And I was searching for someone to blame maybe. But also a part of me didn't want it to go there because the disappointment would be too big. And then I realized it doesn't get us to the aim, right? To blame anyone. So it's not what we should now concentrate about. And I tried to detach from it, just to let it go. Of course, I was checking way too much what's happening there. But the day passed by and I didn't get any message from if it's going to come back or not. So I got really, really insecure, actually. And when you came up with these new ideas that we can now do this and we can take it in this direction, it gave me like an insight of how you can deal with situations, actually. Because sometimes we think, oh no, now it's crashed. I don't have anyone to blame. I put so much effort, we put so much effort, what we gonna do? And what if they're not gonna bring it back? And then you show all the possibilities that we can actually now do thanks to what happened. So this was the week of learning how to strategize myself in the future for other situations that might not look so comfortable in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like to talk about it, most important that we learned that though I'm so many years on YouTube and social media, working and having a lot of engagement, but for example, I thought to myself, I keep it on YouTube and I keep it on social media. But now we opened Patreon account for you and for me, so we can also communicate with our audience that we don't put all in only on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is something that I didn't think about before, but thanks to this event, we were redirected to new ideas. And not only that, we had a lot of support from our fan base the moment kind of we announced that the channel went down, and they know many people watched it and they know what kind of content there is. We had a lot of support, we had a lot of engagement. This is something that we cannot underestimate. And I can understand my purpose is not to blame anyone. Anybody can do whatever they want, but we can respond. And we leverage this event for our best interest. Of course, it is sometimes my unconditional love to people would make me think like kind of, okay, you're jealous, but why would you go and put so much money into troll farms or troll companies in order to flag a channel just because you're jealous of the presenter, or because you're jealous that some people are creating things on their own sovereignly and they speak up their mind and they have a stage and they share their opinions and they look good and they enjoy the interaction and there are so many people that are following and engaging. Why would you invest your energy and time and envy and ego to take them down? Why? I mean, if you can... but this is something that, in general, I've been experiencing for such a long time in Berlin. It's okay. If you're jealous of me, you are... this is just an acknowledgement that I can do things that you cannot do. You can contact me and I will teach you. I will coach you. it's fine. But it looks like that there's some kind of bubble, or the ego is too big to acknowledge that there's someone else that knows better. And they must destroy this reality, because this reality shakes their illusion, of sense of superiority, etc. We are actually showing how things are being done. And many people pretend to be something, and this, our work is the reference. They try to take it down. But again, to those people I say, this is your opportunity to follow and be inspired by our journey. We are also here for you. We're here also to inspire you. So you can follow us and enjoy our journey. You can contact us. We will work together. You don't need to go into self-destructive mode. Just, you know what I mean?
For sure. There's always more than one solution to it. Either get inspired, especially that the channel is for the people and it's out of love for people and not against anyone, or you just don't look at it. There's so many other content that you can engage with. Why invest so much energy in it? So also my feeling of blame, it's not that I took it days with me and was engaging with this emotion so much, but it came up for sure, because I think I'm programmed also this way, to search for someone to blame. But this is not a place of growth, and this is not a place of change. So that's why I try to let go of it. But also I'm irritated. Why should anyone invest so much effort, money, energy to destroy someone's work? It doesn't lead nowhere, actually. And it just makes the people more intelligent, more creative, and they grow.
Yeah, that's why I'm thankful for those people. Like indirectly, I'm thankful for that because they give us the ideas to open Patreon accounts, even OnlyFans account, where we can show your modeling work. You can show your modeling work and even have some exclusive content when it comes to content that we cannot perform and show on Instagram and things like this. So thanks to this experience, we found new ideas and new places. So this is also a nice idea that many people experience sabotage from outside. If they fall down into this negative mindset where they feel sorry for themselves and they feel, oh, it's over and so, versus when they leverage it, they see it as an opportunity where they can use it to improve or to change or to have a new strategy, to have new ideas. And my eyes like, well, when I had this, immediately, okay, what should we do now? And we had the channel back. Like, I mean, we talked to YouTube, and at the end, we got the channel back. We uploaded on it. And even we had more engagement on it because of this experience.
This is interesting that sometimes with this pressure, especially when technical things stop to work, we might fall into certain holes, and then we give away our whole power. Yes, but if you try really not to give power to anyone else, but be aware that you actually can do things, you have your mind still, and there's other platforms, as you say, we can leverage and bring it to way other places, and within this, a new energy is born. So now that you mentioned OF or Patreon, this makes me so happy. This gives me such a motivation, and this leverage also my creativity in such a new ways, because we want to do so many things, but I don't want to put certain art on certain platforms. So now we can really use everything for its purpose and be even more creative. Yeah. I'm missing words. Right now, there's only this big energy that's living within me. And I cannot wait to produce. I'm actually looking so much forward for the future to not realize. Realisieren, it is in German.
Yeah, to fulfill it.
To fulfill it. Yes. I cannot wait to show it to people. This is going to be amazing.
We have a lot of things. And we just started, And anyway, there's a lot of resonance. And this was something like I would like also to say to the audience and to the fan base, that many times when we start a journey of sovereignty, of creativity, of working on our own projects, it will not be sunshine and rainbows. People will not just bravo and enjoy it. Many people will be triggered by that. And we will face hostility, and we will face adversity. So we will face resistances, and we need to face that with love, with positivity, with intelligence, with strategy, with
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about resistance also in the other episodes, right? And now what happened last week showed it even more explicit. So this is also a huge resistance that happens. Yes. This is also a good lesson, not only to stay creative and to be in your power, to be aware that you have actually a power to change things and to work what's happening, but also to take this bad resonance as a kind of compliment for your work. So it's not so toxic anymore.
It's a COVID acknowledgement. Those people, they acknowledge your value. They try to take it down because they see that there's value. And this value might give you wings that you can fly high. So there's already acknowledgement of this value. Even when when they one-on-one, they try to talk to you, they try to dismiss it or to ignore it and to pretend that it doesn't exist. But the action and the emotional state of envy and jealousy, it is the emotional acknowledgement of that value.
For me, it's like learning a second language to understand this. Because if you try to be a correct person, of course, no one is fully correct, but if you go into this journey of trying to improve yourself and be correct and be good to people and to try to really see and not act out of your programming, then you misunderstand these energies and you might, or I take it sometimes very personal. So this is now the learning of understanding those people's minds who are not so self-aware and also don't reflect on their ego so much.
Also what is funny that when I look at it, those people are our best teachers. They give us a kick. And when we get this they try to destabilize us. So we find way more mechanisms and stronger mechanisms to stabilize ourselves. So the more they try to destabilize us, the stronger we become trying to stabilize ourselves. And this is nice. Like challenges are what make us grow.
Yeah, and to get into contact with ourselves even more honest, right?
Yeah. We cannot overcome challenges when we are in an illusion. We must see reality. We cannot, but those people who are living in a bubble, projecting their own whatever reality they created for themselves, whatever illusion they created for themselves, they project it on everyone. They will not have contact with the reality. They will have contact only with their own projection. They will not achieve anything. In order to achieve something and to navigate in this ocean of consciousness, you need to have direct access to reality. Then you can navigate. Then you can change. Then you can learn. Then you can grow. But those who are living in a specific pattern that has been designed for them in order to live in harmony with the status quo, it will not happen. You know this from Berlin. We're artists who call themselves artists, and they look at themselves as some spiritual beings. And they talk that they are activists and they are against the system, but actually they are taking money from the government to finance their art. They are activists against the system, but they are taking money from the government to finance their art. Is this hypocrisy? Or those are people just projecting a certain image that has nothing to do with reality? And our work just mirrors that. They pretend to be sovereign while being financed by a third party. We're not pretending to be sovereign. We are actually sovereign. You know it, I know it, my fan base knows, because I've been talking to them for so many years, that our channels are not being financed by governments, are not being financed by commercial agendas, political agendas, charity, whatever. Nobody is financing our channels. It's us, our spirit, directly to our audience. So we are the real thing. We are not pretending to be like this. And this already destroys the illusion of so many quasi-artists who on the surface want to play the reality, they want to play the role of, and they look at themselves, they think very highly of themselves. They look at themselves as highly spiritual beings. Highly spiritual beings, what they're being living from the government's finances and from the welfare system.
And they also all support each other because they don't know other solutions.
Because they are like each other. They support each other because nobody's challenging that status quo. All of them are the same thing. Money from the government, money from the welfare system, even money from their parents, money from their families. No money comes from creativity, from insight, sovereign, creative, boom, survival. Survival, sovereign survival, boom, transcendence. Now talk to me about spirituality. Don't talk to me about transcendence and spirituality when you are dependent on something else to survive. You are still a child. You are still not an adult. You are still dependent. You are like a child, dependent on a parents to finance you. Don't call yourself, I'm an artist, I'm a philosopher. You're dependent on the academy. Without the academy, you have no chance to survive in this world. A philosopher, a psychologist, without the academy and without the government forcing this as science, you have no chance to survive from your knowledge or theories. So there's a lot of things that challenge that illusion, that will make people want to take us down, want to take people who speak truth down. We are not pretending, we are actually what we are.
But the whole society acknowledged these degrees, these academic degrees, and their backgrounds, what the people come with. So it's so much work for people like us also, because for me, coming from a certain background, it's like double work.
Yeah, as from the point of view of the system, you can be 20 years working, sovereign, you don't have an academic degree, but you are financing your life, you're creating whatever you create, you developed your philosophy and your judgment of life, you see what is right and what is wrong, you know how group dynamics work, you see so many years because of your sovereignty, you developed that judgment, that quality of judgment. On the other side, there is somebody that took stipendium scholarships from the government, 20 years old, studies at university, and finishes it. He's becoming a psychologist. He's certified to mess with people's psyche or to help people psychology. What do you know? This is from your scholarship. You're a lonely child who was financed by your mother and father. What kind of judgment you have in life? You have a lot of theories, but the academy gives them the confirmation and the license to do that. Everyone is free to choose. You want to go to that psychologist or you want to have access to reality. At the end of the day, the sovereign cannot take risks. Those who are dependent can go to the most incompetent people just because the system certifies them.
I mean, it's very comfortable. They don't have to face the programming, no? So when they try to face it and they're not used to it, because they were always caught up by something, or there was a safety net, and they really try to change themselves and they face these uncomfortable emotions, they could just go back. Because it's really hard to change the programming. It's painful and it's challenging, it's a lot of fear. We talked about it already, right? So if they see, okay, everyone in society is acknowledging and supporting the system, each other, and I don't need to do the inner work actually, so why should I? So they hide behind all of this, right? It's like hiding.
It's fine for me. You don't have to. You can live in the system as much as you want, and you can live in the status quo and with your illusion as much as you want. But why are you trying to destroy my work when I show? So it means that you're not really happy with who you are. You know that it's an illusion. Otherwise, why would you conspire with people like you who are in the same boat to take my work down? Unless you know for a fact that this is the real deal. And you are not. You're pretending to be something else.
Yes. You said last time in the last episode that these people are also very invited to challenge their programming or belief systems. So everyone can do it. No one forbids it. Again, they can take this as source of inspiration. And the outcome is way more beautiful, actually. If you're honest with yourself and honest with your ego, nothing bad happens. You acknowledge the work of someone else that inspires you. You go into authentic dialogue with this person. There's only positive exchange, actually. So everyone wins at the end. And there's so much appreciation and love and growth together.
Yeah. Basically, deep down, everyone wants to grow and transform and to experience better emotional states that can bring inspiration and creativity, genuine creativity, to experience sovereignty, where you are in charge of what you are doing. You wake up in the morning and you say, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to create, rather than to wake up on a alarm clock and I need to go to work 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, running in the train or in the somewhere deep. I think that everyone wants to grow to a place where they don't need to ask for a bureaucrat for some funds in order to finance their projects. They don't. Somewhere everybody deep in, not everybody, but many people want to experience that where they are sovereign, where they create their destiny with their own hands. And this is necessary in order for them to survive. First of all, when they have sovereign survival, survival, it means that the body survives. The spirit is there. The consciousness is there. But the whole challenge is how you make the body survive. You need, in our today, you need to buy food, you need to pay rent. In the old times, you needed to hunt, for example. But today, we need to survive this way. When the body survives, then we can experience transcendence, which is transcendence of the spirit within the world of body. You cannot live like this from the welfare system and from the governments and from your mother and father's bank transfers and come speaking to me about spirituality. No, you're far away. Don't talk to me about spirituality now. You are now talk to me about sovereign survival. Master it first of all. Then we can talk about spirituality and about transcendence, and we can explore this world of consciousness. How gorgeous and beautiful it is. But before you survive sovereignly, don't talk about spirituality, and better, don't preach anyone. You're not a coach. You're not a psychologist. You're not a spiritual person. First of all, survive on your own.
This is the beautiful thing, like the other side of the coin, right? You have facing the programming and you have the challenges and the pain that might come within. But on the other side, when you really did it, the feeling of transcending and feeling the spirituality is such a beautiful feeling, right?
Yeah. Then think a lot life you will experience. We will experience life on a whole different level. We would see how synchronicity works. But this is something that we would talk about it in a different time. Now, in the moment, most people are living, trying to survive, not sovereignly, just to survive. Like animals in the jungle when they hunt, they survive sovereignly. Animals in the zoo, they're not living sovereignly. The food comes to them. You cannot compare the intelligence and the senses, the development of senses of the animals of the jungle with those of the zoo. They might look the same. This lion looks like that lion. But they are not the same wesens. They are not the same beings.
Yes.
How they hear, how they sense, how they see, how they experience reality, the freedom.
How they trust their intuition.
Their intuition is a whole different mechanism than people are being kind of taken care of. So it's okay. There are artists that master a certain technique. You know, like dancers, performers, they master a certain technique. It's fine. You can be an artist. This is an artist. But don't make spiritual guruing. Don't make psychological analysis. Focus on your dancing technique. You are in that category. You're not a coach, not a life coach. So kind of, this would be a message to so many people, not also to avoid confusion, not only because those people portray themselves in a light that they are not, but also because of their backgrounds and some kind of social brainwash. Many people look up to them and they trust them and they connect their destiny with their destiny and they live confused and they don't know why they cannot achieve what they're being promised.
The funny thing is that some people that preach spirituality and are coaching might work with people that went through certain things that made them grow spirituality, and they don't acknowledge what they actually accomplished, and they might go into a hierarchy where they're lower than a person that doesn't know actually spirituality and get coached by them. So both are here living in kind of a bubble, which is supported by the system.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot say like some people's bubbles are very thick. Some people's bubbles are thinner. Some people just know who they are. They're not in a bubble. They're in reality. The guy that comes to clean the garbage in the morning, he would not go and coach anyone. He knows this is his work. He takes the money, he brings it in. And this is, for me, has more contact with reality than the artists that takes money from the government, funds from the government, and then they makes to go coaching for people, how they should live their lives, and coachings for relationships and coaching. This garbage guy that picks the garbage has more contact with reality than you artist who's taking money, funds from the government. So focus on your technique. Don't coach. You know.
Yes. Do you think it's a kind of Mode, like Modeerscheinung?
This is kind of, they can afford it. Certain societies, because of the welfare system, they can afford such behavior. Like what is happening now in Germany, the collapse of the system. Nobody can save it. When many people are like this. So many years, many incompetent people have been taught that they are geniuses. So they carry the ego of the genius, but actually they are very incompetent. And they walk like peacocks with the energy of the genius. And they are promised things and they portray themselves in a certain way. And many people believe them. You know, many people believe them because also they are brainwashed to perceive how the genius should look like. and how the criminal should look like. They showed them that on TV, on .art, on the TV program, films, propaganda films, how the criminal should look like. So the image that they have in their mind, he can be genius, but they will not accept him as genius because TV told them that this is a criminal should look like this. While someone who TV has been portraying as genius and intelligent, and the doctor from this TV series, and the police from that .art series, he looks in a certain way. So someone in real life can be on a very low level of intelligence, yet society will give him the credit that he is supposed to be genius. So there's confusion between the illusion and reality. And people need to make a choice. There's so many programming. Not only, we have programming in our childhood, family codes, social codes. There's also programming that has to do with collectives like political parties, religions, racial and national programmings. You have a lot of programmings that keep people in a certain place that they reject reality because the programming and the illusion told them this cannot be, this must be a criminal. And this must be genius, though he's a criminal. So, this is the conflict between the illusion and reality. And I think one of the reasons that we have this thing with our YouTube channel, that they try to take it down, because it's destroying the illusion. It's blowing up the illusions of so many people. No, don't tell us that we are that illusion. We are, this is, Nine, babe. You're an illusion. This is reality. That's why they cannot destroy reality. We can easily blow up their illusion. They cannot destroy their reality. They can take that YouTube channel down. We are reality.
This gives us new energy, actually.
Yeah.
And new Sicherheit. Selbstsicherheit. What is Selbstsicherheit in English?
Self-confidence.
Self-confidence. Today I'm missing some English words, I realize.
That's okay, you can say it. I also sometimes I want to say things in German, but then I kind of catch myself. What was this word? I don't know. So there's a moment of delay between kind of the thoughts.
And also it's a huge topic actually for me. I listen every word that you say, and what I think is how huge this programming is again there. So it's a huge challenge to navigate yourself through the world and not to fall into the traps of those people. Not to sell yourself lower or get insecure or by this kind of attacks to lose the belief in this project, but the opposite. And it's all about this transcending the energy also from negative to positive.
And we have a lot to talk about. I don't know if it's too much time, but we can now. I mean, last time we made it about 50 minutes. Every time we add more time, and it becomes longer for the audience. So I thought to myself, maybe we can keep it half an hour and something like this.
Yes.
But in this subject, we can also talk about self-confidence. It's a theme on its own. It's an amazing place to explore.
Yes. Within everything that we talked about today, there's another episode waiting to be talked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we still have a lot of questions that people were writing under the last video that we didn't talk about because we wanted to dedicate this episode for taking our channel down.
Okay.
So maybe we should just
wrap it up for today, and then we next week, new episode, new questions, new topic, so much waiting in front of us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. We're really looking forward for your questions, and see you next week.
Thank you very much. Ciao.